Hi there, welcome back to my channel. Today is an exciting video because I am packing, or we are packing. I've got Aid, my husband, with me as well, and we're packing for our big US road trip. I will link up the video below where you can actually go and view our trip announcements so you can see exactly where we're going, what we're doing, all that kind of thing. We're basically off to the States for 3.5 weeks. We've got 7 lots of accommodation. We are doing a road trip in California, ending up in Disneyland, and then we have a week over in Disney World as well. So we've got lots of stages of this trip. I will explain as we go on through the packing, what we're doing, why we're doing it, and all that kind of thing. I'll also link up the video below from last year's packing when we went over to the States again for another road trip, but we did the southern states and ending up in Disney World. Slightly different, much hotter. This time we've got a whole combination of cooler temperatures as we're going to San Francisco. We're also doing a whale watching trip, so we've got different things that we're taking. The split's completely different. There's less Disney this time, so it's a different kind of packing, but I'll link that up in case you love a packing video and you'd like to see 2 different types of packing. We will be using cubes again. We've got 6 pieces of luggage to pack. There are us and our 2 teens, and not doing hand luggage today. I'll do that in a separate video. We are taking lots more food with us this time, which again I will explain, and I think I'm just going to chat as we go through it. I really hope that you enjoyed today's video. I hope it's of any help to you. Let me know if it is. Let me know if you pack similar to us, if you also use cubes, or if there's anything in this video that you found particularly helpful. I would love to know. Also, if you've got any questions, and let me know how early you pack. We're 2 weeks before we go and we're packing already. Let me know if you do that as well. Now, the first thing I'm going to do, I have got my packing book here. I have bagged up already. We've got bags of toiletries, and we've also got this great big bag of food. I am going to weigh up these. There's another bag with toiletries as well. I'm going to weigh up these bags so we can see the weight, because we're bringing hardly anything of these back. Not bringing the food, not bringing hand soaps, not bringing shampoos, shower gels, anything like that. Even if there's a little bit left, we will leave it there. And we know that, for example, if we've got 15 kilos here, that's 15 kilos that we're not bringing back with us. And I'm sure you're the same. Do you shop loads in the States? You know that that's good shopping space. Now, the reason we're taking loads of food this time, we're going to California for the majority of our stay, and it's really expensive. I've also got 2 fussy kids. I've got 1 vegan that is now eating fish as well, and I've got 1 very fussy eater. So this time I'm taking brioche, pre-packed chocolate brioche for breakfasts, and again having a look at the menus, things like IHOP, places like that. We're looking at over $100 for the 4 of us, and I just feel that's really pricey, especially when you've got like the tip added in, the extra tax because it's more expensive in California, and IHOP's really hit and miss. And so we've decided not to spend out loads of money on things like breakfast. I will buy like muffins and things like that in supermarkets, but I've got these. I'm also taking lots of cereal bars, again for breakfast, but brilliant for snacks. We're on the road a lot. I want to have things in my bag, and these are things that I've been buying for the last few months in supermarkets, in Poundland, and when they're on offer because they're not coming out of our holiday budget. I've also got things like little bags of crisps, again great for snacks. These were £1 in Poundland, and in the States we do buy the big bags of Lay's and things, but they're really fun to have in the hotel or in the villa, and that's fine, but these are great for on the go, just little bags that haven't cost much money. I've got gingerbread men, again for snacks. My kids love Marmite, so I know I can always do Marmite on toast. I've also got dishwasher tablets and washing liquid, you know, like for clothes wash. I've got those. Again, that's all weight I know that I'm not bringing back. Yeah, these are my washer tablets. Again, I don't want any of this to come out of my holiday budget, so I always make a list about 6 months before we go. When I see things on offer, I buy them, store them in my wardrobe, and I tick them off as along as I go. We always take hand soap as well for like the kitchen or the bathroom. and I think that's pretty much it.
So we're weighing the toiletries and the food. The food was 7 kilos. These
6.5
little handheld scales, these luggage travel scales, are an absolute godsend. Really, really handy. Always make sure that you pack yours to go.
and batteries as well.
Spare batteries for them too.
That weighs 17.5 kilos. So that's almost a suitcase when you think of it. That's the space that we've got to bring back. I've got my list and I'm just going to go through and tick everything off so that I know I've got everything. For example, I've got Louis, a big thing of Louis's hair gel that he uses upstairs. I don't want to take, I don't want to take the great big thing of hair gel because I know he'll only use a little bit. So I bought these little empties from Poundland. No, these are from Primark for £1, and I can just put a little bit of the hair gel inside one to take.
So what we've done, we've laid out clothes. Aid's got a section, I've got a section, the kids have a section each, and it was really handy going through just seeing what tops I've got, what bottoms, skirts, and I've actually realised, like, I've taken a couple of skirts out, I've taken a couple of tops out. On the floor we've got shoes, bags, and then accessories, and then things like umbrellas, park bags. And behind here I've got 4 cases laid out so far. We're going to have 2 for our first part, which is San Francisco and the road trip. I've got another bag inside there, which is a spare one for when we come back. I've also got 2 for the LA section, and we've got 2 that will be for Disney as well. And again, we're going to have bags inside that we can then pack to bring back as well. We're checking in total 6 cases. We didn't use the spare one last year, but it's there just in case. We have had years where we've needed to go out and buy an extra bag when we're over there.
Something else that we do, we're just packing up all the toiletries. I've got one of Aid's shower gels here. We reuse these IKEA bags. The IKEA bags are really good. How much are they? Can you show me a box of those, please?
Well, these
they come in different sizes.
They're 6 litre and 4.5. I think they're about £2 something, aren't they?
£2, and we've got
15 of each.
15 of each. There's 30 in here. They're really good. But what we do, we keep them from previous trips and reuse them. So I've got a whole bag of them, and then we just pop them in the suitcases at the end of a trip and reuse them the next. It just means any leakages or anything, they're kind of just contained in the plastic bags, and hopefully then won't spill out on the clothes. Right, so we're going to start putting everything into packing cubes. I've ordered new ones this year, and I've got the old ones as well, but we've got 4 different colours, and I'm going to be packing now and rolling and putting in the cubes. That way when we get to the hotels, it's easy to know exactly what stuff is where. For example, last year we arrived really late at the cabin where we were staying. Kids were really tired. I could just go straight into a case, take out their cubes, and I knew instantly where their pajamas and toothbrushes and that kind of thing was. It just makes life so much easier. So this is actually part 2 of the video. I had to stop the other day. Holly came home from work and wanted to sit and chat, and we ended up finishing the packing for the time being. It's a few days later now. Holly's been away on her trip, so I've been able to wash all of her things, and I have a list from her telling me which items need to go in which bag. We're now just a few days from going away, and we're finally going to finish up this packing. I just wanted to show you, I've got this Poundland bag. This is one of the shopping bags that you can buy in Poundland. It's a Disney one, and I've put my ears in here, and I thought it would be a really handy place to keep them together. So I've just popped them in here. So they've got a little bit of protection and they're kept together, and I'm going to keep them in the case like this. Everything to do with Disney is all in the one case here. It just makes it so much easier. We don't need to touch it until we arrive in Disneyland. I've also got this cool bag to pack. We bought this, I think, in Target one year, and it flattens down to almost nothing. It's really handy to take away, and we've taken it away with us ever since. What we tend to do, freeze bottles whilst we're away, and freeze the water bottles, and they keep the drinks really cool when we're out and about. Or we freeze drinks and pop them in here, then when we'll take some drinks into the parks with us, and the frozen ones will stay in here. Then when we get back to the car at the end of our park trip, they're really lovely and cold. The cool bag works really well. Something else we're doing, I'm taking a couple of extra packing cubes to pop the dirty clothes in when we're on the first part of our trip. When we get to Hollywood, which is day 5 I think into the trip, we will actually have washing machine, and we will for the rest of the trip, so we can keep on top of the washing. But obviously we don't want the dirty stuff to mix with the clean stuff, and the same goes at the very end. We're not going to be doing washing at the very end of the trip, so we want to be able to keep it separate. And by having the empty bags or any other kind of bag, even if you took bin liners, you can keep it separate. So I wanted to talk packing cubes with you for a moment. We have got different colour cubes for different people in the family. Holly, for example, has grey, and the cubes that I've bought, I will link them up below. They come in packs, and you've got 5 different sizes. So this one, I've got a space on the top and a space on the bottom. We've also got smaller ones for like the undergarments, and each case then has each person's colour cube. And so when we arrive, for example, exactly whose cube goes to who. We've got a separate one like for the undergarments, and for sleepwear then we've got another one for like the clothing for that trip. So we've got San Francisco, Hollywood and Disney, and I know when I go into each case exactly whose is who. And the other thing is, I will show you, I also roll the clothing, which helps eliminate the creases. This, for example, is Aid's. He's got red, and he's got 3-4 t-shirts and pair of shorts as well. And as you can see, everything is rolled, so when you take it out you just unroll it and you've got no creases. It just makes life so much easier. We started using packing cubes in our 2016 trip. We've done a trip each year since then, and we would never do it any other way now. It's so much easier. I'm marking everything off with a highlighter as I go along. And for example, I haven't got Holly's lounging shorts. I've got a couple of jumpers of hers still missing, so it's really easy to see what I still need. And because we're packing in each individual case, in each individual coloured cubes, it will be so easy for me when she gives it to me just to pop it in the cube, and I know exactly what is where. If I do change anything, like I've put in extra t-shirts, for example, for Louis this evening, I've written it in the book as well, so I know exactly what we've got. It also helps then, I find, when I'm on a trip, if somebody wants something in particular and they can't find it, I can check my book and I know exactly where it is. It's a bit of a military operation, this packing, isn't it? Does anybody else have lists and have all these systems and things like that? I've just found from each trip we've learned from it, and I just want to make it as easy as possible. One mistake I made last year, I didn't actually label the bags, and when we arrived in Chattanooga, which was about 10 o'clock at night, I forgot which bag was which. I tied different colour ribbons to the top, but obviously I didn't remember which was which. So this time I'm going to pop a little sticker on each of the name tag, and I'm going to write the initials of the place where we're going, so like S for San Francisco, LA and Disney, a D for Disney, and I know then exactly which case is which.
We are pretty much done. We've got raincoats in the top there, and everything is nice and tidy and well organised inside the cases. We've got Ziploc bags in here because they're just handy for if we buy anything like sandwich meats or bread or anything like that, we can pop it away. Another good tip for Ziploc bags, actually, take one for your camera. If you're going on a water ride, you can pop your camera inside the Ziploc bag and pop it in your bag, and it just gives it that extra bit of protection. We always do that when we're in a park. And here's another Disney bag. I've got my little bags and my rucksack in the top there. Everything's neat. Got a little bit of space, as we've still got a few bits and pieces to add, like the boys' razors and things like that. Another tip, we have Disney ribbon. I had personalised ribbon made. I will find the link where I had it made. It was really cheap, and by having the ribbon on the top of your case really helps you identify it when it comes off the luggage belt. You can just instantly see amongst all the black cases which one is your bag, as it can be tricky sometimes to try and spot yours, or you're worried that somebody may have taken it. It really helps having a bright coloured ribbon with your name on it. I do think we're actually done now, aren't we? Apart from the last few minutes.
Much. I think there's jumper and that to go in, a couple of t-shirts.
And before we put them away, we will actually weigh them, and I mark it down in my book as well, so I know exactly how heavy each case is. Tell me how you do your packing. How do you use cubes? Do you just pack it in? Are you a last minute packer? Are you really well organized like we are and you start packing a few weeks in advance? I would love to know, because I know everyone does it differently, and I also want to know your packing tips. What tips can you share that you think make life easier? And now to weigh each one.
So 19.
Okay, that's cool. And I'm going to write each one down. And I've labelled each one so I know this time exactly which case is which. The first two are San Francisco. That's the weight. We are allowed up to 23 kilos, and we're allowed 2 pieces per person as we're travelling in premium. San Francisco, 19 and 20 kilos. Hollywood, 18 and 18 kilos. And Disney, 13 and 14. We've just got a few toiletry bits to add. And the toiletries in total, and all the food, came to 17.5 kilos. Which means we have lots and lots of space for shopping. And 5 days to go and we are fully packed. I really hope that you've enjoyed the packing video. I hope it's been of some help to you. I don't know if it has. Let me know though how you pack and how we do differently to you, and if you would possibly change anything after watching this. Thank you so much for watching today. I do also have a hand luggage video which I will link up below for you, so you can have a look and see what we take on board with us too. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you don't already, and you'll be able to see our trip videos coming up very, very soon. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye.